let's get into the real mess. Over the weekend, I saw some of the most insane comments I've ever seen on X. The freedom of speech platform doesn't seem so freedom of speech, does it? Where do you stand on the H-1B debate? Should America be prioritizing excellence in the form of cheap labor? Or should Americans be focusing on making American workers great again? There has been insane debate over this, and we're gonna break down everything I've seen. Because I have been this woman just sitting on the sidelines watching what's going on in the Twitter sphere. What's going on, MAGA? What are we doing here? What kind of conversations are we having? Remember what Trump said back then? Remember what Trump said about these? Remember what JD Vance said just recently? Vivek goes on a tirade against American culture. Why would he do that? Why would Vivek come out against us? Oh, you want to talk about Boy Meets World? Oh, no, dude. That's where I draw the line. I love Boy Meets World. Don't you talk about my Topanga like that. Elon Musk tells people to F their face, but it turns out he hires a bunch. Should American jobs be prioritized? And what kind of jobs are in the H-1B visas? Why did Patrick David of the huge podcast go nuts? Start making fun of Americans. You mean the people that subscribe to your podcast? That's always a good move. Really go after the people who support you. But we're gonna find out if Elon Musk is right. Is the right just a bunch of full racists? Do they hate Indian people? Do you hate Indian people? Why did I agree with Adam Kinzinger for the first time in my effing life? What's going on with this debate? How can we fix this? But first, before we get into the real stuff, I want you to watch this video and pay very close attention because this has implications on your life.
Oh! Somebody help him.
Somebody give him some milk. Somebody give him some milk. That's a double buckle. Imagine getting buckled up that hard. Oh no, Lord. Welcome to the show.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go lick the world.
Trust the government.
She sent in a little video for us. Here she is.
Hey, in spite of everything you've heard, and let me just make sure you all know that it's actually me. Say it's me.
Anti-woke.
Anti-woke?
Suck on this, Biden.
Would we the all of our
Folks stepping on them. That's black.
I wear heels. They're not for a fashion statement. They're for ammunition.
I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid.
Begging for our enemies to penetrate.
Trump incited an erection.
COVID-19 heel for checkup.
Cis-het white males.
Yeah, and so
Oh, I hate those.
Even I won't buy bacon anymore. It's too expensive.
And then punches him in the chest.
Why did your friend Jim Comey let you off so easy?
Community. Is it infighting, or are we just having honest debate with one another? We've gotten to this weird realm these days where like any kind of debate or difference in opinion, people are like, oh my God, mom and dad are fighting. How do we get mom and dad to stop fighting? Because we have different ideas, different opinions, different ways to do things in the world. The H-1B debate is actually a very serious debate and should be had. And who brought it out himself? Yeah, Jimmy Carter actually died. Yeah. But at the same time, how did he survive that long? How did Jimmy Carter, a guy that looked like absolute death, I mean, the pictures of Jimmy Carter voting for Kamala Harris are some of the most insane pictures I've ever seen in my life. Can we stop pretending that this guy is like totally fine? I mean, look at this. He's dead. This guy just recently voted for Kamala Harris. Good morning, Wilson. What's up? I had a great 2025 is going to be lit, guys. Guys, this channel is going to blow up. I'm making huge forecasts. This guy voted for Kamala Harris. This guy is apparently he just died. Will you be going to the Jimmy Carter Library? Not me. Not me. Not me. Okay. Over the weekend, or this past week, the H-1B debate has been had on Twitter. And it all started with Elon Musk and Vivek calling for more H-1B visas. We need to hire the brightest and best, they say. But anybody with a small slimmer of a brain has been in contact with H-1Bs before. I remember working my first job at Atlanta Bread Company in the South, which is like Kneaders. It's like all those like soup and salad places. And there was a busboy there, and he was about a 35-year-old man. And he was from Venezuela. And I was wondering, how do you work here, dude? You don't even know English. You don't know any English. And he told me about this program. And I thought, wait, how much you get paid? And then he told me how much he makes per hour, which is $3.25. And I was making $5.25 at the time. All you Gen Zers that freak out about $20 an hour. I was making $5 an hour at that time. So yeah, I could barely afford anything as well. But I was also in high school and I understood the reason behind that. So I experienced it for the first time. American jobs being taken. American jobs being taken. Trump comes out in support, saying he has had H-1Bs himself. But in 2016, Trump put out this statement in the middle of debate about H-1Bs, and this should be the platform which he runs on. See, we voted for Trump because we thought, you know what, let's make America great again. Let's make the American spirit, the American goal great again. We want Americans to feel good about their jobs, right? And here's Donald Trump saying exactly that, tickling the ears in the middle of an election year.
First of all, I think, and I know the H-1B very well, and
yes,
it's something that I frankly use, and I shouldn't be allowed to use. We shouldn't have it. Very, very bad for workers. And second of all, I think it's very important to say, well, I'm a businessman, and I have to do what I have to do, and it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's very bad. It's very bad for business in terms of, it's very bad for our workers, and it's unfair for our workers,
yes,
and we should end it.
Okay. So we should end it? Oh, how the tables have turned. See, when Elon Musk and Vivek came on, things suddenly changed the tune. When you got more CEOs than you got actual just regular everyday Americans in positions, things start to change. But here's JD Vance saying exactly the same thing just recently.
We're done importing foreign labor. We're going to fight for American citizens and their good jobs and their good wages. Oh.
So you can understand why people on the right were freaking out over the weekend saying, hey, we don't want more H-1B workers. We don't want more of those. It's taking away American jobs. But then you had all these major CEOs and people that are extremely wealthy and free market capitalists, of course. Because, of course, if you have a business and you have some white dude or some American, any kind of American that walks in and is like, I want this job, but I'll work for $300,000 a year. I don't even make that much. Okay, I want this job, but I work $100,000 a year. And you're like, why would I hire you when I have this guy from India that wants to come, or this guy from Pakistan, or this guy from China, or this guy from Germany that wants to come to America and will do it for $50,000 a year. And not only that, be more grateful, be more excited, and work harder than you. I'll work the same. So what should we be prioritizing? Should we be prioritizing American workers? See, in the debate between H-1Bs are so stupid to me. These big prominent CEOs, the debate is, are we going to hire lazy Americans or just people that really want the job? What if you hire Americans that really want the job and really want to work the job as well? Oh, we're not going to factor that part in. They pay these H-1Bs less than the Americans? Of course they do, Joshua. Of course they do. Because if you are a mega rich dude who wants to continue to stay rich, the way you do it is that you keep your money. You keep your money that you're making. Of course they're going to hire H-1Bs. And of course the system is rigged. But of course there is that debate, should we be importing the best and brightest? And the answer is yes. Of course. We're a melting pot. I love multicultural. I love going to Indian restaurants. I love going to Asian restaurants. I love all the different food. Hire H-1Bs just for food. But that's what makes America great. We want the greatest. But has H-1Bs just been hiring the greatest and best? No. And we have some actual H-1B visas ready to go this morning that we can all get excited about. It's lit good, then lit AF. The weirdest post over the week, what everyone was freaking out about, was Vivek Ramaswamy. The guy that may or may not have been part of a rug pullout when his own company, or, his medical company, Big Pharma himself. We're not going to get into that part. It's all hearsay. We're all just pretending we're not looking at it. Ali says, America's a social experiment. Just look how Poland treats and wants to protect its citizen. America has zero loyalty. And that is true. See, we spent years and years and years of generations telling them to be lazy and that you're a snowflake and you can get them out whatever you want. And so imagine that generation growing up and wanting and demanding more than a foreign worker. Yeah, duh. Because more information on the internet has come out and we see how much people are making. And now with the job market the way it is, you can go up to different companies and see their salaries and demand more. Hey, I'm working at Costco. I'm a cashier. I look across the street. My friend is working at Whole Foods. He makes double what I make. I want that. I'm the best cashier here. And they're like, no thanks. We'll hire H-1B instead of you. You're so ungrateful. You're an ungrateful piece of crap and you know it. I'm gonna come. You deserve to rotten. Wilson says, the amount of soldiers I met in basic training that struggled speaking English was surprising, and that is so weird to me. And it was back in 2011. But Americans don't want to join the military anymore, so there's that. That is true. And why would you join the military? Hey, take the COVID shot. No thanks. Hey, you also have DEI training. No thanks. Vivek puts this tweet out that triggers me and everyone on the right and some other people as well. The reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of innate American IQ deficient, a lazy and wrong explanation. A key part comes down to the C word, culture. Okay, so the reason Google and Yahoo, does anybody use Yahoo? I use it for fantasy football sometimes. The reason they hire it is because of culture, says Vivek. Tough questions demand tough answers, and we're really serious about fixing the problem. We're here to confront the truth. So Vivek thinks the American culture is crap, and he wants to hire people from other cultures, which really got trigger people. How dare you? How dare you? He goes on to say, our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for far too long, at least since the 90s, or likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. Yes, I remember being on my first sports team. I remember being excited. I was on a baseball team. And if I could be totally honest, I was probably the best person on the team. I played first base. I was the best hitter on the team. And I remember everyone getting a trophy. And I looked at my boomer parents and I said, why is everyone getting a trophy when everyone sucked? Our team sucked. Why are we even getting this stupid trophy? And they said, son, I don't know. It's weird. It's a new thing. There's nothing we can do about it. So if you're going to blame millennials for pushing everybody gets a trophy, you need to look at yourself. I was a kid. I didn't have a choice. Everyone got a freaking trophy and it didn't make any sense to me. What's up, Jason? Vivek goes on to continue. A culture that celebrates prom queen over math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. Vivek is pissed. Look, Vivek never got to be prom king. Vivek was never prom king, okay? He was a math lead. He was a dork in school. And now he's raging his war. Now he's raging his war. He is so pissed off. Look, I was up for prom king, okay? And I lost to a guy in a wheelchair that had his sister die later that year. So if anybody was the first DEI, it was him. Still bitter about that. I was second in running for prom king, and I lost to a guy in a wheelchair whose sister died later that year. And I understand. Look, I took it on the chin. I was like, you get it? I get it. This guy's been through hell. This guy has been through hell. Give it to him. I don't want it. Because if I won it over him, I would feel so bad. I'd be like, can you just have this? You've had a really shit year, man. You've had a terrible year. Queen says, no kids left behind. Kids never learn striving for excellence. That's true. He is mad at heck rich immigrants, and that's for sure, yeah. Vivek is showing that he should never be president, says Ali. He can stay in Doge Lane. Yeah, revenge of the nerds. It truly is a revenge of the nerds. The idea that us promoting the prom king, that kind of excellence, old Rocky films over the mathlete, that's part of American culture too. And that's why these people want to come here, because they have deep down desires to be the prom king or to be Rocky and knock out the Russian. We all have desires for that. Vivek goes on to continue. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World. How dare you? No dude was watching Boy Meets World for Corey. Okay? We were all watching it for Topanga. Okay? Topanga, for many American men in today's culture, was their first crush. It was definitely one of mine. Topanga made me feel things that I've never felt before. Topanga made me feel things that I didn't know were possible. And in that moment, then and there, I became full blonde. Blonde till I die. Until my wife changes her hair color, then it's whatever she has. True that. Good old Topanga, forgot about her. Jason, how dare you? Never forget about the most beautiful woman on earth when you were, I don't know how old you were, but I was pretty young. I don't get the argument he's making, says Aruka. So it's super misleading, and it is. And that's the point. This whole argument, this whole H-1B argument is the most misleading, and they're lying about what they're focusing on. See, the people that are for these H-1Bs are saying that Americans are just racist. They don't want, and they focus on Indians. I don't know how this discussion became solely about Indians, but it did. That's because that's the psyop part of it. It's like, how do we make this discussion go away? Oh, we'll just make it seem like if you were against H-1Bs, that means you're racist. And people are like, I don't want to be racist. I don't want to be racist. Why would I want to be racist? Get these racists out of here. And so they've coined the term woke right, which we'll get into in a second. The woke right movement, the woke right comments are so ridiculous, so stupid. Also, if you are for populist ideas, if you're for putting Americans' jobs first, you are woke right, according to some people online. And just a reminder that Twitter isn't real life. It's just a few psychos with a lot of following accounts that are controlling the conversation. And you and I are in the replies just like, look at me. I'm a person too. I swear to God, I have views. I have views. Willie says, I don't trust Vivek. Yeah, no, you shouldn't. I don't trust Vivek. I don't trust BBD podcast. I don't Pat Batrick David. I don't trust Elon Musk. These people aren't like, they came into the right. They came in and they voted for Trump. That doesn't mean they have the same opinions as you. There's like this weird leftist, that's the woke side of like, if you have a different opinion than me, all of a sudden you're against me. And it's very tribal and gross. It's very tribal and gross. And then he goes on to say, the culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World Or Zach and Slater over Screech. Okay? Zach and Slater were hot dudes. Okay? I wasn't even gay and I knew that. Okay? Yeah. We all wanted to be Zach and Slater when we were kids. When we were in high school, we wanted to be the hottest guys in the school that got all the hot babes. Vivek is telling you, you shouldn't aspire to be the hottest guy in the school. You should aspire to be a math lead. And if you don't, we're gonna hire people from other countries to take your job. You should have been prioritizing differently. You should have been prioritizing. Jason says, I don't trust Babe, BB, or Elon, man. They're in it for their own personal gains. Oh, of course. Oh, why wouldn't you be? If you are right next to the president, of course you are. The woke right, I've never heard that one. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Politicians ride the fence and they jump sides whenever they feel like it, says Willie. Oh, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So don't prioritize Zach and Slater. You should have been looking up to Screech. That dork that was like assistant principal, or I don't even remember what Screech's role was, really. Saved by the Bell or Stefan or Steve Urkel in Family Matters. Everybody loved Steve Urkel. Who else were you? When you watch Family Matters, if you watch Family Matters like me, I love Family Matters. I used to watch that show religiously, and Prince of Bel-Air. Steve Urkel was awesome. You looked and you wanted to aspire to be the most exciting character as a kid growing up. Not necessarily like, who's the dork, who's the rich white kid. That's not how it goes. So he's pissed off that people are prioritizing the young, hot, successful dude over the math lead. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is the way the argument is. The reason America is dying and not being as successful and is woke and has a woke mind virus is because people grew up wanting to be Zach and Slater over Screech. Okay, Vivek. Okay. I thought you were like really smart. I thought you were also Vivek, can I just say something? If you write a post like this a day after Christmas, there's something wrong with you. If you were writing posts this long on Twitter, aka X, get off the platform. You don't belong here. We should have looked up that dork. Yeah. It's eye-opening how much elected politicians have given up on Americans. Oh, I know. And this is the vibe I'm getting. Is like, you know what? Americans are stupid, lazy, and woke, and I don't want them at my company. So therefore, I have to hire outside. How about you prioritize on changing the culture? Oh, the culture is far too gone. The culture in America is far too gone. We got to get rid of it. And how do we get rid of it? Oh, we import people from India. The country when people go to is like, oh yeah, don't eat the food. Don't drink the water in India. Oh, it's full of trash everywhere as well. We need to import people from that culture. We need them to finally fix America. Dude, Steve Urkel was off and we were right. Yeah. Diversity is our strength, but with the carefully curated diverse America is being tossed in trash for everyone, everything else. Yeah, they are tossing American culture in the trash. Most normal American parents look skeptically at those kind of parents. Most normal American kids view those kids with scorn. If you grow up aspiring for normalcy, normalcy is what you'll achieve, says. Oh yeah, this is the part for me. More movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends. Vivek hates Friends. The idea of people in their 30s still living in apartments in New York City, getting coffee and having sexual conversations needs to end. Friends, your big aha moment is to go against Friends. Look, I'm not a huge Friends guy. We need to elevate The Office. Those people had jobs and they love their jobs. They love their jobs. Vivek said stupid out loud. Yeah. 300 plus million people here, and we are all incompetent and lazy, says Willie. I know. It's so stupid to me. Yeah, there's a few TikTok videos that you can pull up that make some Americans look lazy, dumb, and woke. But that is not the majority of us. We're here. You're here. I'm here. We're talking differently. We're not the same. Shut up. More movies like Friends. More math tutoring, fewer sleepovers. Vivek says that people in America need to have more math tutoring and fewer sleepovers. What happened, Vivek? Were you never invited to the sleepover, my friend? Nobody invited you to the sleepover? Is that what happened? You didn't go to a sleepover? Is that why you're mad about people going over and having sleepovers with their friends? You're pissed off about the sleepovers? We gotta stop these sleepovers. American culture is dying because American kids are having way too many sleepovers. How do we get these kids to stop sleeping over? God, it's like so crazy to me. Jason says, I lost my job as an IT technician for Chevron Gas and Oil because they outsourced the whole IT department into India. Yeah, call any customer service these days. Like, if I get a customer service agent that is English speaking as a first language, I'm like, holy crap, I can have a normal conversation. Because these companies that outsource their customer service, it's so annoying to call them. And then you have to ask them, what did you say? I'm sorry, I don't understand you. I'm sorry, I didn't get what you said. I'm sorry, can you say that one more time? I'm sorry. And I'm the one apologizing. Like, I don't understand what you're freaking saying. He goes on to say, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chilling. What? Yeah, as a kid, we need more creating and less chilling. More extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. If you were in 6th grade and you think that you can just go to the mall with your friends, think again. You want to grow up and be an engineer? Start now. You think you're just going to go to hang out with your friends, have sleepovers, have social, learn social cues and develop a good group of friends? You want to join a fraternity because it's like, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. It's about having connections in life. You want to join the military? Don't make friends. No hanging out on the weekends. You should be training for your job every day. No days off. Hashtag no days off. I wake up at 4 a.m. every single morning and I go hard for my job. Even if I'm not getting paid, I'm still gonna work so hard. Willie says the government will ban sleepovers now. Yeah, exactly. We gotta stop these freaking sleepovers. Willie says children are not allowed to be kids. Yeah, exactly. They have to be mature by the age of 10. Thank you. And then we'll finally be great again. Joshua says, even though we won, there's still someone pulling the strings. He wouldn't have won it if they didn't allow Trump was allowed to win. Dang. Happy to about it still, but I won't be a sycophant. Don't be a sycophant. Just because somebody says it's true doesn't make it's true, and you're allowed to have your own opinions. No happiness, only work. Yeah, exactly. This sounds very communistic, doesn't it? Hey, Americans, stop hanging out, stop having sleepovers, don't hang out with your friends. Work will set you free. Work will make you feel, work maketh the man, not anything else. Most normal American parents look skeptically at those kind of parents that allow, most normal parents look skeptically at those kind of parents. Most normal parents look at people that are watching Friends or watching Saturday morning cartoons when you're 8 years old or hanging at the mall and they're looking at them skeptically. What? What the frick, dude? This is why, yeah, okay. Just because you're, look, engineers, okay? You guys think you can just mathematically figure out your whole life? And if it makes logical sense, then I'm gonna do it. But if you know anything about human mind and the human growth and the way the mind grows as you age and how it doesn't fully develop until you're 25, social cues and learning social norms is very important for the rest of your life. And you can tell brilliance by the way kids act in school for the most part. It's just a cultural difference. Now close your eyes and visualize which families you knew in the 90s. Okay, I knew a lot of divorced families like mine. I knew kids that were doing drugs, but I wasn't doing them. I was playing sports all the time. I was struggling in school because I had dyslexia. Obviously, can you imagine listening to me read? Holy crap. Wilson says, crap, my 4-year-old is watching cartoons right now. I am one of those parents. Wilson, take your child, grab them by the neck, and put a book in front of their face. What are you doing? You're one of those parents. Sick. You're disgusting. You're part of the problem. You're part of the freaking problem. Yell at your 4-year-old child. If you don't start reading the encyclopedia, you're never going to have a job. Tell your 4-year-old that. You're never going to work. You're never going to amount to anything in life. You'll never start and be the CEO of a big pharma company and you pull out a rug and take a bunch of money from average everyday Americans. Dang, you guys are chatting a lot. I love it. Friends are gay. I'm not a huge fan of Friends either. Happy New Year. Find it. At least he cut Seinfeld some slack. Yeah, true. If he would have said anything about The Office or Seinfeld, I would have lost my freaking cool. I would have lost it. I knew he had no idea when I saw him interact with the garbage man. That's so true. Just sounds so un-American, like these folks are cool and they want to be raised in America. It's part of who you are. We're growing. We're just allow kids to be kids. Okay. No one's talking about these kids. Sleepovers. Having sleepovers. What are you thinking? Normalcy doesn't cut the hyper-competitive global markets. Okay. Yeah. There are those kids that excel. But let me tell you another story, Vivek. I knew kids like those kids who didn't go to sleepovers. I knew kids who were the mathletes. I knew those kids as well. Now, did all of those kids grow up and work great jobs? No. I know some of those kids who are hooked on drugs, who are doing fentanyl on the street because they felt like their entire life was made to work. Their entire life, they didn't have any kind of idea how to make decisions for themselves because their parents put a book in front of their face and said, you're going to live the life that I want you to live. I didn't do as well as you, and you're going to do better than me, and I'm going to make sure you do it. Those kids also didn't grow up to be the greatest engineers known to mankind. Yeah, a couple of them did, but not all of them. Not all of them. So is there this perfect balance? Maybe. Do some kids grow up in the home hooked on drugs and you never saw it coming? Yes. Not every kid is going to be perfect no matter what. Sometimes it's down to the kid. Sometimes it gets to an age. Watching cartoons in the morning, you must want to starve. I still watch cartoons for fun sometimes, says Jason. See, you're part of the problem. Dunces have tricked into believing that Democrats want communism. They don't. The last thing that people who went to college have good jobs want to do is share their money with Trump rubies. Okay, Whitney. Yeah, I'm not one of those people. Unsocialized kids are not okay most of the time. Just saying, exactly. Exactly. But then Elon Musk goes on to say this. Okay, so Elon Musk was going on a tirade about this, and this guy was really triggering Elon Musk. Stop trying to optimize something that shouldn't exist. Let's optimize H-1B. Okay, so he goes on to say, and it turns out that Elon Musk, of course, the reason I'm in America all along was so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America great is because of H-1B. Oh. And then he goes on to say, so take a big step back and go f*** yourself in the face. I will go to war on the issue that likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. Is that like a page out of Trump's book? Sharing Derrico's shizzle in the morning. This is shizzle dizzle. So this argument for so many of these CEOs and people with huge jobs have become emotional. And the minute an argument becomes emotional, you know you're losing. And here's all the jobs Tesla is currently hiring for H-1Bs. Okay, they couldn't find a single American to do the job. You can't find a American to do the job. Not one. You can't find one American to do any of these jobs, huh, Tesla? And it's not because you want the top tier talent, is it? It's not. It's not, Elon, is it? Say it with me. I wanted the cheap labor. Swill says a lot more kids are being homeschooled these days. That should make an interesting future. It should. You know, there will be a lot of people online, but they're maybe not so socially, but could be a lot more smarter kids. Who knows? Who knows? My hope is always with homeschool that kids develop a desire to want to learn and grow. Look how long this list is. This is all H-1B jobs. Couldn't find a single American to do these jobs, huh? No American will work 80 hours a week to do it. Now, of course, whenever there is things online, that there are a few grifters online, and one of my least favorite, also favorite, because I can't understand who this person is and why he always shows up in my freaking feed. Why are you on my feed? I don't ever interact with you, but I'm doing it now, so I lied. Chris Cross says, I want cheap labor myself, like ladies of the night type. You're sick. You're disgusting. You don't want the best and brightest for ladies in the night? Get a job. Get a job. Eon Miles Chung is one of the biggest things on Twitter that make no sense to me. He's not even American. He's never lived in America, but yet he doesn't shut up about American politics because it's his grift. Now, he follows whatever Elon Musk says, and Elon Musk and Twitter prop him up. So here's him talking. You'll see a lot of questions from influencers asking why China isn't recruiting immigrant talent to work in AI, blah, 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 blah. So he has gone on in support of H-1Bs and saying that if you are against H-1Bs, it means you want for hiring the brightest and best. That's not what it is. See, these same people online have said old posts, and thankful that the internet is forever. So here's Eon Miles Chung, this old post that he put up. This is also true for professional jobs. Silicon Valley companies used to pay far better, but when they weren't importing Indians from H-1B visas to live in the squalid apartment blocks owned by the companies, entertainment companies paid better when they weren't outsourcing animation. Oh, and it's weird how, like, you have these major accounts go from saying that we should be against H-1Bs, like Donald Trump right here, saying that, like,
First of all, I think, and I know the H-1B very well, and it's something that I frankly use, and I shouldn't be allowed to use. We shouldn't have it. Very, very bad for workers. And second of all, I think it's very important to say, well, I'm a businessman, and I have to do what I have to do, and it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's very bad. It's very bad for business in terms of, it's very bad for our workers, and it's unfair for our workers.
And that's the entire argument. It has nothing to do with race or hiring the brightest and best, because that's a lie. Hiring the brightest and best, that's the propaganda behind it. And here it is. Okay, so here's part of the woke right. He's one of the idiots that are using this term very flippantly. The woke right admits that they don't want mediocrity because they are mediocre and truly struggle to compete. If they even bother to, they feel entitled for wealth and prosperity without wanting to put it in the work. Do you feel entitled to wealth and prosperity? Do you feel like you should be wealthy and be prosperous no matter what? No matter what your work ethic looks like? Is that how you feel? Do you feel that way? Or do you just miss when America felt like excellent? Truly a far cry from what American excellence used to be. The founders would be embarrassed. And everyone says, don't just fix a problem, put a Band-Aid on a problem. It's like the same idiots that go, you know what would solve homelessness? We just give everyone houses. If we just give people houses and give them dignity, they'll stop and they won't stay on the streets. Really? Have you ever worked with the homeless? I have. Yeah. Maybe a couple of them would do really well in an apartment or good living environments, the healthy diet. And some of them are schizophrenics on the streets. And some of them are hooked on fentanyl on the streets and don't want to stop. Because why would they? You're not giving people reason to live. The woke right admits that they don't want mediocrity because they are mediocre. So if you are against H-1Bs, the big talking point to these people on the right that are pushing for H-1Bs and to expand it, and again, this whole debate isn't against H-1B visas. It's expanding H-1B visas, which they all pushed at the beginning. This whole debate started because they said, we need to expand H-1B visas. We need to make the H-1B visas reach wider and longer. And then Americans who voted for a president who said H-1B visas are not good for the American worker. And again, it has nothing to do with fucking white people or Hispanics or black or Asian. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with American versus non-American. God, everybody that has a small IQ always makes it out to be some kind of stupid racial argument, and where nobody with a brain is talking about race right now when it comes to this. The people that are talking about race, I think, take away from this conversation completely, and it pisses me off. It pisses me off. Some of the countries that we import people from visas are absolute crap, absolutely terrible. I would never live there. I don't want to vacation there. I don't want to go there. I have no desire to be a part of that community. Yes, that's true. And to say that that means that everybody that comes from those places is that way is also not true. That's called racism. Okay, God, I'm just shut up. God, the racist arguments are so small-minded and idiotic. It's stupid. It's funny. Some of it's funny. Some of it's funny. I will give you that. But it's so stupid. Arukasu says, we are arguing for them to just come out and say we want cheap labor. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm hoping we push them into the corner and say. Because Donald Trump himself said it in 2016 on the stage, and everyone lost their minds. Hey, I'm running a business. I want cheap labor. Are you kidding me? I want this cheap labor. I want to be rich, and I get it. If you are, it's the same. People are like, we just need to tax the rich more. You're an idiot, because the rich have lawyers and you don't. The rich hire really good accountants and you don't. You go on your TurboTax by yourself and you're like, I think I'm putting in enough deductibles. You are not. Well, we hired 80,000 more IRS agents. That's what the leftards tell you is going to fix the problem. You think a bunch of people that work for the government is going to go after rich people with lawyers? No, they're going to go after you. Oh, Derek, you didn't put that $400 Venmo you got from your buddy on your taxes. That's income. That's definitely income. Yeah. And we're gonna fine you for our time. Yeah, a couple thousand here, a couple thousand here, and 30 million people give us an extra $1,500 a year. We made it up. We don't even have to go after the rich. We'll go after you idiots. It's just that easy. But the government workers will go. We do it. If people can scam, if people can get higher and not have to pay people or not have to go after the rich people and can just squash the lower class, they'll do it. It's so much easier. Do you beat up the kid in school? If you're a bully, do you go after the smallest kid in school or do you go after the largest kid in school? Every bully everywhere always went after the smallest kid. Emotionally, physically, whatever. Because that's what bullies do. Elon and his campaign, American First. Elon and Trump gets elected. Fucking face. Exactly, Wilson. I'm a little fired up because this debate is so stupid to me. I just get so mad about the liars. And I get more mad about the liars, but the people that are trying to frame this conversation to make it about race or to make it about not wanting to be the best country on earth. Shut up. That is so stupid. If you are a part of an organization that cares about people, okay, let's make that the foundation, that cares about your country, cares about the community around you. You don't just bring in people from another community to make your organization better. That's what a tyrant would do. That's what a terrible person would do. A great person would figure out ways to make the people that you're already serving, that are already a part of your community, that are already part of your company, and make them better. That's what a good manager would do. A bad manager would just put a Band-Aid on it. And yes, it's easier doing it that way. Of course it is. But that's not what a good person would do. God, I just get so bored of this conversation. And of course, people are pulling up old tweets by the same guy, immigrants. It's just weird how some of these like huge accounts all of a sudden flip. This is just a few years ago. Immigrants depress wages by competing with native workers. It's observable everywhere. Yes, of course they do. Because if you're a company and there's an option to not hire an American, but you can hire someone that'll work just as hard or maybe not as hard and maybe don't speak as much English, and so you have to push that, but they'll fill the job and they'll do it for half and they'll do it for more hours of the week, you're going to do it. Unless you're a good person. The rich have tax lawyers so the IRS doesn't bother them. 100%. Why would you? If you were the IRS, you go after me. You don't go after Donald Trump. We just watched that. You went after Donald Trump and he did fine. To even developing countries where immigrants take low-end mental jobs at lower than market rate. Okay, I'm not even going to go into this idiot because he's a grifter. But here's some H-1Bs. Okay, so before anybody that starts freaking out about me, it's like, Derek, how dare you? H-1Bs is just about hiring the brightest and best. It has nothing to do with lowering wages artificially. Again, and it's artificially lowering the wages of workers. I'm for a free market for American workers. So not so free. I'll take the hit on that one. I'll take the hit on that one. Because some of these free market people don't want the free market to be the free market. They want it. They want to artificially be the free market. I'll take our government subsidies. I'll take people from other countries. Because the free market is working too well, and now I have to pay Americans higher because Americans' standard of living continues to go up and it gets more expensive to live. Now, here are some fantastic things. Here's some H-1B. Look, here's an H-1B for Chippendales in Las Vegas. Chippendales, which I will be applying for. The title, Dancer, $900. So, the brightest and best are Chippendales dancers. Here's some other ones. Denver Public Schools, math secondary teachers, $71,000 a year. Bunch of school jobs, math teachers. We need people from other countries to come teach our children math. How do we get these idiots in here? Look, here's one that seems kind of racist. A 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven cashier for $24,000 a year. H-1Bs are just the brightest and best. How dare you? How dare you say that? Now, prominent podcaster went out and said this about Americans, which is just a stupid argument. So he came out and he's been for H-1Bs. Very, very angry about H-1Bs. Very pissed off. What do you guys not want? The brightest and best? I came from a different country and look what I made of myself. And yes, there's been some allegations about me starting a pyramid scheme, but that's different. You hire somebody and then you get people to work under you, and then they hire people and they get people to work under them, and then they hire people and you continue to make money. It's not a pyramid. It's something else. But here's Patrick Bet-David going after if you are against expanding H-1Bs. Now, I'm not saying I'm against H-1Bs. I'm not for expanding. If anything, we need to narrow it down.
Watch this. New statistics. Do you know what % of Gen Z workers claim they experience burnout at work?
I get scheduled for 25 hours a week. I'm literally about to quit.
Not 20%, not 40%, not 80%, not 90%. 98% of you experience burnout.
Every single day.
Everybody experiences burnout from work, but we just show up and keep working. That's yeah, working for a living sucks. There's a reason people are like, I'll pay you to do this, because it's not fun. Just because you experience burnout doesn't mean you're not going to stop working or try to make your work experience better. Willie says, I don't understand. We need teachers because they want to pay the teachers less.
Of you experience burnout.
Every single day, go and work somewhere and do that 5 times a week.
How? You're in your early 20s. Watch this. 23% face unmanageable stress and 48% feel drained. According to a Cigna survey, Gen Z is the most stressed generation of all time. And by the way, according to 1,000 leaders,
I do some of my best work when I'm stressed out. Okay.
that are hiring people out there. Watch what they said. This is employers talking about Gen Zers. 6 in 10 employers reporting firing recent Gen Z.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Willie. Burnout is I don't like work. I know. If somebody came up to me and was like, Derek, do you feel burnt out by work? Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm quitting. That doesn't mean I'm going to not work as hard. That doesn't mean I'm going to not continue to work. But yeah, especially when I'm on a holiday right now. Okay, I'm taking some time off from work, but I'm still here working. I'm still going to show up to my job. I'm still going to work. I'm still going to put, 50, 60 hours in a week. Yeah, but yeah, I'm tired of working. I don't know. But I also know that I have to work in order to survive and live and thrive and make something of myself. I also know that working makes me less depressed. Yeah. But if somebody came up to me with a survey and was like, are you tired of working? Yeah. Oh my God, Derek is part of the problem. Oh my God, he doesn't want to work. He doesn't find joy at work. He doesn't go to work every day. It's like, I'm just happy to be here. I would rather be here than anywhere else. You think I want to be on a cruise right now? You think I want to live in a mansion and be on a cruise right now? No chance. I want to be here with you guys, hating work together. God. This cultural debate is so stupid. And again, I love the videos of these Gen Z people crying about work. It's hilarious to me as well. It's funny to me as well. But the idea that is the entire narrative of everyone in that generation is so idiotic and stupid. It's ridiculous. I have my head down. Let me see. Burnout is I don't like work. I have my head down, busting my tail now forever, says Chris. Yeah, me too, man. Work is hard. And Shin. I show up to work for participation awards. And that's a really smart thing to do. If you don't show up to work and you don't get a participation award or some kind of trophy, don't go anymore. Quit. Let somebody with an H-1B take your job. Miss Berry says, I like working. Gives me something to do. Hey, that's what's up. John Nagel says, if most teachers were paid based on results, they would get a pay cut, not a pay raise. Yeah. John, I completely agree with you. But also, have you seen some of these kids? Have you seen some of these kids? Some of these kids that are thrown in front of an iPad at home are some of the most misbehaved children in the entire world. Yeah, they're smart, but also they're psychotic and crazy. I've had kids come up to my face and tell me to go f yourself. And then I was like, what do I do for punishment? And they're like, there's nothing you can do. So, and that's coming from the boomer generation telling me what to do. So don't yell at me about my generation. Good Lord. It's insulting they feel the answer is important. People, and again, my generation is crap too. Let's just get it not get it twisted. But at the same time, I think that kind of mindset is like a psyop. It's to think that the boomers suck, the millennials suck, the Gen Z sucks. I think that's just some kind of stupid psyop that even I've fallen victim to. I think there are still good workers who are wanting to work and wanting to put in the work. But then all these companies are pushing H-1Bs over you, and then you feel demoralized. And I think that is the problem. Instead of encouraging these workers. It's like, Derek, you want to work for $100,000 a year? Too bad, we're hiring this Indian for $80,000. But I don't want to take $80,000 because other jobs are hiring for $100,000. Too bad. You want to work at Tesla or what? You want to suck from the Tesla teat or what? It's insulting they feel the answer is more to import people rather than to change American culture. Exactly. We should be focusing on how we can change American culture rather than just putting a Band-Aid on the problem. So importing a bunch of Indians in America, do you think that's going to make America all of a sudden great? Or importing a bunch of Pakistanis or Chinese or Africans or Germans, or do you think that's going to all of a sudden change? God, no. The American people are continuing to get angry and angrier because you are not helping or encouraging or lifting up or making programs or pushing this kind of culture. Rather, you are just pushing them down. Vivek, the Snake Ramaswamy. Fortunately, I love what I do. Me too, man. And you should learn to love what you do, even if you hate what you do. You know what I mean? It's a mindset. It's a mindset. If you tell yourself what I do for a living is amazing, this is great, and this is amazing, you're gonna feel good about what you do for work, even if you're a cashier. It's such a mentality switch. Having a pair of Terminators at home that kept me in line when I was in school, yeah, me too. But without the Nazi scientists, we would have never made it to the moon, Derek. Yeah, Operation Paperclip. I think everyone is like talking about Operation Paperclip as well. Like, okay, we're talking about Operation Paperclip. Well, again, and so Patrick Bet-David goes on his little his insane talking points about Americans are too lazy.
College graduates within months of hiring them. 1 in 7 employers indicated they may refrain from hiring new graduates next year's unsatisfactory performance.
No, you don't have to hire graduates.
5% of companies said.
Also, that is a dumb talking point as well. If you have a graduate degree, I'm not going to hire you. If you have a degree, I'm not going to hire you. Why don't you just talk to the person? Figure out if they are a hard worker.
Some or all of their Gen Z hires were unsatisfactory. 50%.
Jesse says, if American culture was so bad, why did Vivek and Elon's family want to come here? Because they actually liked Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Reported that Gen Z workers.
So he goes on to just bitch about Gen Z workers. Okay, and so here's his post, and you just love it. No skilled immigrants in the United States. Here's the kind of young talent we got in the U.S. So here's Patrick Bet-David just talking about American workers. Here's the kind of young talent. 98% of Gen Z experience burnout at work. Again, what a dumb talking point. Who doesn't? Yeah, occasionally I experience burnout. Yeah. And then usually you take a vacation. Or you take a 1 day of sick day, and then you just go back into work the next day.
I'm gonna come.
Have you ever experienced burnout? Have you ever felt burnt out at one point in your life? 23 face unmanageable stress. 48% feel drained. Yeah, well, stop encouraging people to freak out about politics as well. 6 in 10 employees report firing recent Gen Z hire, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he's just like, this generation that's coming up sucks. And here's another H-1B. You can't find an American that wants to be a sports writer for Blizzard. Okay, all these are bullcrap to me. And here is Patrick Bet-David as well. So you want me to hire a high-performing, hardworking, hard-skilled Indian? You don't want me. You want me to not... God, I hate when people write it like that. I hate when people write like that. So you want me to not hire a high-performing, hardworking, and skilled Indian, and you want me to hire an American that even if the person is not capable, lacks skills, and is entitled? oh, so you support DEI? And I'm like, some idiot is me. Why are these the only two options? Patrick, why are these the only two options? Why can't you hire? So you want me to not hire a high-performing, hardworking, skilled Indian? Instead, you want me to hire a high-performing, hardworking, skilled American? Yes. That's what it should read. God. Every single American is lazy. They're all lazy. They're all lazy. God, what a dumb talking point. What a horrible black-pilled outlook on America as well. Why would you want to make America great again? If you think Americans are just all so entitled because they have some bargaining power, but you take the bargaining power away from them, you take the free market away from them by importing people that will do it for way cheaper. What a horrible outlook. All these Americans are crap. Let's just get a bunch of people from other countries that don't share our culture whatsoever and don't even give a crap about America, and in fact might change our elections and make America worse. Yeah, let's get those people in ASAP. Because Americans today have no idea what hard work is. Change the culture. What are you telling your kids, Patrick? What are you telling your kids? I worked a lot with the young out-of-school people, and they are go-getters. There are a ton of Americans that are ready to work. PPT got GPT his money from a pyramid scheme. I didn't say that, Jesse did, Patrick, okay? Allegedly, it's a pyramid scheme, Patrick. Supporting American is DEI, yeah. And that's the new woke right thing. If you want to support American workers, that means you're for DEI. But here's the thing. See, even Patrick Bet-David is hiring for H-1Bs right now. Patrick Bet-David is hiring for H-1Bs right now. Patrick, you can't find a graphic designer to work for you? You can't find a graphic designer to make your douchey logos? You can't find one graphic designer? Really? If of all the jobs that are currently available, I think a lot of Americans would love to be a graphic designer. No, we don't want those. We need somebody from a different country that's willing to work for $41,000 a year. We need those people now. We need those people right now. Oh, so this is an emotional argument. We're arguing from a place. So Patrick, Elon are both arguing from a place of we hire these people, we exploit these systems, and we need people from outside America because Americans won't come in and work for $20,000 a year. And that's a problem. Americans are too lazy. They won't work for $20,000 a year. You should be working 80 hours a week and making $20,000 a year. And if you don't want to work for 80 hours a week on $20,000 a year, you're lazy. You're a lazy piece of crap. And you're experiencing burnout. You've been so burnt out by working. You're just so burnt out. You're lazy. You're lazy and you are a terrible human being. This is why they want to give easy student loans. Yeah, bury the American in debt, and foreigners don't have that. Yeah, no. Yeah, Americans are so much in debt. Job requirements must have curry scented BO. Okay. And then everybody started freaking out. Okay, now we're on the part of Elon Musk and the free speech platform. Now, he went on a tirade, Elon Musk and the non-H-1Bs, and started just suspending accounts left and right talking about this issue. Now, I think it's so funny whenever people say that X is a free speech platform. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad he bought X. It seems like it's a little better. But let's stop pretending it's free speech, okay? That's just a dumb talking point. It's not freedom of speech. If you can't say things that you disagree with me on, like it would be like me being like, this is a free speech show. And if you say anything negative about me, I'm blocking you. I'm going to block you. Taking you off my system. And then we go on to just line after line of people just getting into conversations with Elon Musk and Elon Musk just blocking them. This post from this account no longer exists. And this was just a little conversation back and forth. And, but let's not get it twisted, okay? There are some people on the right that are actually racist. And again, I think these people are taking away from the real conversation and diminishing any kind of logical thought from having. Now, some of it's kind of funny, but also it's just insanely racist. So some people are against H-1Bs because they don't want any kind of foreigners coming into America. Now, if that's your opinion, I'm not on that opinion. I think America's a melting pot. Yes, and I want the brightest and best to work. Sure, absolutely. And I think H-1Bs should be taken down so smallly that it should be very hard to get an H-1B. We shouldn't be getting H-1Bs for 7-Eleven workers or Chippendales or teachers for children. Okay? That shouldn't be a thing. But here's some of the people on the insane right that go way too hard and need to freaking relax. She's a comedian, and I don't know his.
Cockroaches and parasites wiping cow dung on their face and then like sleeping with white men's wives, you know, because, oh, well, he's a doctor and I could have a better life over here, you know, and then the next thing you know, you're with some fat, fupa, stinky, like disgusting cow dung ridden dot head Indian that will never assimilate into your culture ever. They brush their teeth with this stuff. They eat soup that's this stuff. They're disgusting, parasitic people.
Okay. Okay. That's all you get. God. Sometimes I forget, like, some of these people are serious. Look, I make jokes too, but that is, I don't think that's a joke. And if you actually think that, Jesus Christ, man. It was supposed to be for top scientists and doctors. Yeah, 100%. 100%. 100%. It was supposed to be for the top. Now, even Adam Kinzinger is coming out against Elon about banning people. Holy crap. Me and Adam Kinzinger are feeling the same way. So Elon Musk stripped the blue check mark. See, I think you should be allowed to be racist on X. If it's a true freedom of speech platform, show your true colors. So Elon Musk stripped blue check marks because someone hurt his feelings. Dude, lay off the ketamine, talk to a therapist, help the poor, retire, talk to your kids, grow up. Holy crap, I'm agreeing with Adam Kinzinger. The show's done. I'm finally complete. I'm finally over. Okay, but here's Donald Trump's statement from 2016. The H-1B program is neither high-skilled nor immigration. These are temporary foreign workers imported from abroad for the explicit purpose of substituting for American workers at lower pay. I remain totally committed to eliminating rampant, widespread H-1B abuse and ending outrageous practices such as those that occurred at Disney in Florida when Americans were forced to train foreign replacements. What? Americans were forced to train foreign replacements? Yes, this is an old 60-minute story that just went around again.
American workers are losing jobs because of a law designed to help the job market. The H-1B visa bill was written in 1990. It lets companies recruit foreign talent for emerging engineering and scientific jobs. But loopholes allow for outsourcing of American jobs to foreign workers, often at lower pay. Bill Whitaker spoke to some Americans displaced by H-1B visa workers for Sunday's 60 Minutes. They say they were...
I wonder if any of these workers experience burnout.
...asked to train workers who would take their jobs.
It wasn't called training your replacement. It was called knowledge transfer.
Oh. Craig D'Angelo worked for Northeast Utilities, now called Eversource, and was one of 220 IT workers replaced by H-1B visa employees. D'Angelo says his replacement, a worker from India, told him he was making half D'Angelo's salary with no benefits.
I didn't get laid off for lack of work. I got laid off because somebody cheaper could do my job.
We met with this group of workers who all had to train replacements. Leo Pereiro had just received high performance reviews from Disney. When he was called into a personnel meeting, he expected a raise and a promotion.
And instead,
I was given the news that in 90 days, my job was over, and I had to train my replacement. Never in my life did I imagine, until this happened at Disney, that I could be sitting at my desk and somebody would be flown in from another country, sit at my same desk and chair, and take over what I was doing. It was the most humiliating and demoralizing thing I've ever gone through.
Yeah, it was demoralizing, but you should have been doing your job for $30,000 a year, okay? Some Indian was gonna come in and take your job. You're probably a lazy Gen Z worker. The government has been funding companies to move overseas a lot years now, yes. Okay, so this guy lost his job. Oh my God, I lost my job. To some guy that was gonna work for half his salary. It's also a very unfortunate pausing by my part. I apologize. But here's the thing. There are some idiots online that are freaking out, like Tommy Lauren. Jeepers creepers, we don't need a MAGA civil war. I'm not personally a fan of expanding H-1B visas, but it doesn't mean I now want Elon and MAGA out of the tent. It's a big tent. Debate, disagree, and discuss. But let's not get hysterical here. You're allowed to have difference of opinion. Okay? And don't listen to these idiots. If you're against H-1Bs, don't listen to these idiots that try to make it a racial thing. It's not a racial thing. It's an American worker thing. Yeah, and that includes blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians, Navajo, Indians. Don't train them. It would be hard to tell. It includes all of them. But here's the thing that I think this is all about, okay? Here's the thing that I am starting to notice a very strong trend. See, when Louis Mangione killed the United Healthcare CEO, people started cheering. And the left started getting happy about that because it's a class warfare thing. They always see that. But the right is also seeing that as well. That the H-1Bs have been made to outsource and get rid of the American worker. And then when you are complaining about it, they tell you to shut up. Shut your mouth. So this has turned into a class warfare thing as well, where people like Elon Musk and Patrick Bet-David, who are multimillionaires that hire a bunch of people from other countries to do cheaper labor for their American jobs, are pushing for this. The average American worker who feels like disenfranchised and feels like the elites have left them and they don't actually care about the poor people in Appalachia. Just learn to code, idiots. They feel disenfranchised, left alone, because these companies, they don't feel the pressure to use their finances or try to make American culture better when they can just import people to work. We have these great American companies, but so many of these people that work these companies don't even live here or want to be a part of here and don't want to make America great again. So there is a class warfare thing going on. Pedro Gonzalez says, Elon is in a rough spot. The left hates him, and now he's angered the right. And in the background, you have a general resentment towards CEOs evinced by the popular support of Louis Mangione. If you don't think tech people are aware of this, see Peter Thiel's unsettled reaction. People are getting annoyed and feel like the system isn't working out for their favor. So that is the new woke right. You let me know what your thoughts are on that. I can understand it, to be honest. Instead of completely dismissing the woke right or American First or the people on that side of the aisle, maybe listen. Can we have some nuance in these conversations? Can we understand that some people feel left out? Some people feel like Americans, that middle class America or the flyover states, that companies don't actually care about them and they'll just outsource it? Can we feel that way? Are we allowed to feel that way without becoming a woke issue? We just don't listen to people anymore. and just discredit anybody's opinion. We just discredit people quickly. Get rid of people's opinions. Let's listen. And remember, this entire discussion was about expanding H-1Bs when Trump said he was against it and said it's bad for the American worker. So it's confusing. It doesn't make sense. And Trump hasn't really put out a big statement on this. There's like hearsay. Trump said that he hires H-1Bs supposedly, but then it turns out maybe he doesn't. John, that is a long text, my friend. Our greatest success from John Nagel, our greatest success came after immigration was suppressed in the 1920s until the worst president ever, Lyndon B. Johnson, amen, opened up us to uncontrolled illegal and legal immigration. This was the primary reason for the great productive middle class has significantly disappeared. It distorted the workforce. You talking about H-1B misses the root cause. Here with the onslaught of immigrants, I'm talking to H-1Bs, brother, because everyone is talking about H-1Bs. Not because. With the onslaught of immigrants, all three of the pillars that define a country have been significantly. A country is defined by language, culture, and you stopped. I totally, no, that is. So remember, Trump came in and said our immigration system has been overblown by the Biden administration by allowing these NGOs to allow these people from other countries just to have a fast pass to America. Then they were put on hotels, given free food, given cell phones, etc. And so people were pissed off. Why are we allowing all these military-age men, some families, to come into America and just live off our own taxpayer burden? Why are we doing this? And so Trump comes in and says, I'm going to fix it. We're going to deport people. People go, oh, okay, cool. We're deporting people. Then he's like, you know what? I'm probably just going to deport the criminals. You're like, wait, is it deporting all of them or deporting the criminals? Then Tom says, I'm going to deport all of them. We'll see. And now we have this push for expanding the H-1Bs. We need more H-1Bs because the American worker is too lazy, thus not fixing or helping or breaking down the immigration system or making it better or just allowing the brightest, the best to come to America. We're expanding it. So the immigration talk continues. I've always heard that politicians never want to fix the immigration debate and they want it to be an ongoing issue forever because then because they don't want to fix it because Americans aren't having babies. And because Americans aren't having babies, they need to replace with the workforce, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. That's so much, man. This discussion is so much. But again, and don't listen to these idiots who are making immigration to be like some kind of racial issue. Yes, people from third world countries could have the possibility of not making America great again. Yes, that is a very possibility. But this idea that we don't want to mixing with our white women, shut up. God, shut up. You're making the entire argument a very stupid argument. It's like what MSNBC does. They'll take like these deep conversations and then just be like, it's because these white men are fixing the system. And you're like, okay. You just ruined your whole thought process. But my stance has always been we need to restrict H-1Bs and only allow the brightest and best and only be for top scientists and people that prove their worth, like the Einsteins. The thing I was told by the right that's all they're for. Instead of we need people to work 7-Eleven, we need Chippendales, we need people to write esports drama, we need blah, blah, blah. We need graphic designers. Hire American. And when I say American, I don't mean white. I mean American. Jeez. Holy crap. It's such a dumb. I can't mix with these people who are just like so racist. And I'm like, you are literally like the left, just being like one race is better than another. Ugh. Gross. All right, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. What, an hour and 20 minutes? Jeez. I've been pent up way too long. I've been pent up way too long. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Drop a like on this video if you don't mind. Share this on all social medias platforms. Thank you guys for all your comments, and I love the conversation, and a lot of you I agree with, and it's okay to disagree with me as well. That's allowed here. You're allowed to disagree with me. It's not all about having the same opinions on this show. And you can tell me if you think I'm wrong, and I'm not going to be triggered by it. You're allowed to have a different opinion than me. Fun show. Hey, good. It wasn't as much fun and silliness as I wanted, but I think I've just been sitting on the sidelines and just pinned up and just like, this conversation about H-1Bs are changing directions, and it shouldn't be the focus of this conversation. We don't need to be talking about white women mixing with Indians. We need to be talking about something else. The root cause. God, not the other stupid crap. As funny as it is. Okay. Hey, thanks, Shannon. Yeah, leave a comment afterwards. If you guys don't mind leaving a comment, it helps the algorithms out, especially a smaller show like this. It helps grow. This year, discussion shows are cathartic. Hey, thank you. They are kind of cathartic, aren't they? It's kind of nice just talking. And because people, it's hard to, sometimes you see these accounts write these insane things or have these insane takes, and it's like, I just want to like talk about it with somebody else. I don't want to feel alone. So hope you guys feel that way about this show. That's why I interact with the chat as much as I do. And I will always be that way. I will always interact with you guys. Because you're always welcome to be like listening to me and be like, Derek, you're an idiot. Because sometimes when I go live, my brain goes, and I got nothing coming out. So, all right, guys.